Marriage should be fun, fulfilling, and full of joy, but too often, outside voices try to define what it should look like. Your Best Marriage Now is here to challenge the norms and help couples build a relationship that feels right for them. Hosted by Reshema and Jack Mountain, this podcast is all about embracing the freedom to love, laugh, and grow together. We believe in living at your own address, meaning your marriage should reflect your values, your happiness, and your vision. Join us as we share real conversations, practical insights, and plenty of fun along the way. Let's dive in together.
Welcome to Your Best Marriage Now. We are the Mountains. I'm Reshema, my amazing husband Jacques, and we are here with you all to share some good stuff about marriage and all the wonderful things that come along with it. And we do it in three ways. We do it with communication, compromise, and commitment. I used to say compromise was probably the most challenging for me, but I actually like compromise now because it has helped us stay here for 20 years.
Yes, it has.
So, today we're actually going to pick up with our last conversation with stuff that's been hard to say, things that we both choked over in the marriage. Getting to 20 years, we realized that we will never graduate from communication. You're just not. Even when you think you've nailed it, you need to keep studying and keep learning, because there were some things along the way that I realized were hard for me to say, things that I used to ask you to say and share with me that you actually were talking about at the end of the last week's episode. And if y'all didn't catch last week, pause, run back, and catch last week's episode, because it's definitely going to go with this one, so you can follow us along the journey of how we've made it to 20 years and why we are about starting forward in a new and living way.
That's right. And, one of the things we talked about, saying hard things and two becoming one. There used to be this song out, if you don't know me by now, then you'll never, never, never know me. Ooh,
I wonder how it's working out for them right now.
But the thing is, I don't know you fully.
Yep.
If you don't know me by now, I know a lot about you, but there's still some things I don't know. And that's something we found out last year with our counselors. They was like, yeah, y'all know each other, but then there's a lot you don't know, because nobody has told everybody everything. Nobody has poured out 100% of all of the raunchy, nobody knows everything about you. But I do know you enough to live with you, to build a life with you. But there was some parts of you I saw last year that I had never seen before. There was some parts of me you saw last year that you had never seen before.
Oh, God.
And our counselors was like, but it was already in there.
It sure was.
It was there all the time. It just, this situation brought it out.
And I'm glad you said that.
Yes.
Because in our marriage, we have the saying, tell me what you'll do when you're in a situation to do it.
Yeah.
Or how do we say it? Because this is the thing. We
I
see
would
stuff
never,
online.
I would never do that. Tell me about it once you did it.
Or tell me about it when the opportunity is presented to you.
And when it knocks on your door. Well, if I had a family member who was living an alternate lifestyle, they wouldn't live. They wouldn't come here for Thanksgiving. They wouldn't be here for Christmas if they had a girlfriend and they same-sex marriage. Tell us about it when it happens to you.
Yep.
When it happens to your family.
Oh, I would never let him tell me what to do with money. I would never let her. Okay. Well, tell me about it when the opportunity comes to your door.
To your door.
Yeah.
Let's see if your theology changes then.
Yeah.
Let's see if you're merciful then when it's your brother that says he's got a boyfriend.
Yep.
Or your sister that says she's marrying a woman. Let's see if God changes then when it's your family. And we are big on just getting away from this judging people, because as one of our great ministers said one time, she said, don't ever say never.
Yes.
She said, don't ever say never, because you do not know. I can't believe they killed that person. You don't know, because your life never been threatened. You don't know. And we get back to talking about marriage, but we're just saying, in Proverbs, one of our favorite marriage scriptures, it says, to the hungry person,
yes,
every bitter thing is sweet.
Yeah.
So if I'm hungry enough and haven't eaten, you could bring me something nasty, something bitter, something that I know I shouldn't eat.
Yeah.
But because I'm so starved, so thirsty, so hungry, I'll drink it anyway.
Yeah.
I'll eat it anyway.
Yep.
Because the hungry person, well, I can't believe he went and slept with her. I can't believe my wife did that. How hungry was she?
Dude.
He ain't even the man that I am, but how hungry was she? I've provided her a buffet style lifestyle with anger.
Yep.
With resentment.
Mm-hmm.
Lording over her with the buffet style life
mm-hmm.
versus the guy over here with the Happy Meal, just making her happy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe she would go that low. To the hungry person.
Yep. And hunger it covers so many different things.
Yes.
And last year we had to deal with our communication and, my hunger for you to communicate your feelings. Mm-hmm. It's like once I discovered you have them, and then, men feel the same thing that women feel. So it's like, okay, well, I'm telling you this and I'm saying this. Okay, I'm being affectionate. I'm touching you here. I'm doing this. Like, the Bible says that if I want something done, I should do it. And it's like, hello, I'm sowing all these seeds. When is the harvest of the words and the touching and the feeling and the grabbing and the sexting and all that? When is that going to come back?
Right. And it takes time and it's different.
Yep.
They talk about a lot in the finance world, one person a spender, one person a saver. And then in the marriage, it could be one person more sexually aggressive than the other.
Yep.
It's not always the man. And our relationship is you. It's you're the more aggressive. And it's okay. Live at your own address.
Yes.
Don't. Well, I wish my wife was more like that. I wish my husband. It's like live at your own address. Mm-hmm. Find out what works for you and your spouse. Mm-hmm. And, we talk about the communication, the compromise, the commitment. Well, my wife don't really like sex. You need to communicate. It's a reason why.
Yeah.
It could be past. It could be something present.
Yeah.
It could be something you're doing, not doing. Something she cares for, doesn't care for. Yep. And then sometimes we know women, it's hard for y'all to tell us stuff about sex. Mm-hmm. So that could be a thing. Well, my husband, he just seemed like he don't never want it. Maybe he's tired. Maybe he's tired of doing the same thing. Maybe it's still, once again, it's a communication.
And communicating about those sensitive things.
Yes.
Because as you were saying on the last episode, I was like, okay, I need you to express your feelings towards me for X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And you were saying, we were taught, you don't, what you say?
We don't love them hoes.
But I was like, I ain't no hoes. I'm your girl. Can you give me a romantic 90s R&B look? Something.
You want a Brian McKnight night. A Jodeci night. Yeah, we can, but it's still 15 years worth of programming in the wrong direction versus I might only been married for 5. I want you to make love to me and talk to me in my ear like they do on the movie. I ain't never done that in my life. What is we talking about? All this talking in here. It's like I'm about to, all this talking in the bed. It's like, stop all this talking. Let's get to the act. Why is we talking so much?
You remember you said that? He was like,
what are these brothers saying? It's like too much talking going on. Oh, baby. Oh, ooh,
you
baby.
said, who set you up for that?
It's like, who set you up for that? All that talking. Like, no, I'm not, we're not doing all that. What's my name? Daddy. Okay, that's enough talking. Let's keep on rolling. You know what I'm saying? All right, so back to what we were saying, ladies and gentlemen.
Communication. We were talking about communication.
Right, because
this is a real thing.
Now, communication, and because I heard this on somebody else's podcast, and I thought this was so good. We'll never graduate past communication. Mm-hmm. And our expectations need to be communicated.
Yes.
And I heard the lady say that when they got married, her and her husband, her expectation was sex twice a week. Mm-hmm. And she said, and she was good with that. He's going to want it twice a week. I'll give it to him. Everything will be fine. His expectation was at least 5 a week. Mm-hmm. Like he was thinking every night.
Right.
So they came into the marriage. She giving it to him twice a week. She like, oh, I know he good. And then he's over here frustrated because he was expecting 5 times a week. And it took them years before finally somebody communicated, this is what I expected coming in, and I didn't get it. Oh, that's what you expected? I expected this. So from day one, they were wrong. Because nobody clearly communicated what they were expecting.
Because the expectation, like my expectations were in my head.
Yes.
Until one day last year, you sat me down. You said, well, how many times would you be good? And I said the number. I said, what, 3? I think I said 2 to 3.
Right.
You know, at least. And you said, you said, I didn't know that. And we had been married for 19 years.
Right.
And I was frustrated.
Because people were talking about should sex happen naturally.
Yes.
Versus scheduled sex.
Right.
And we found out that there's nothing wrong with scheduled sex because you've been scheduling it your whole life anyway.
Yep.
Oh, I saw that fine brother. He hollered at me. Oh, we gonna hook up tonight at 8. That was scheduled.
Yep.
Oh, I met this brother at a party, this sister at the club. We gonna get together on Tuesday. That was scheduled. It's been scheduled your whole life anyway. You know what I mean? And then in the marriage, people expecting it to always be spontaneous.
Right.
She's cooking eggs. Oh, she looking so fine. Let me go over here and it's just gonna happen. And it's like, no.
Right.
Like, bro, like, let me finish cooking these eggs. I got these kids to get to school. You got to get to work. Let's get together tonight.
Yeah.
Or whatever time works for you, because once again, live at your own address. So we've been scheduling it anyway.
Yeah, but we had to communicate.
Correct.
Sit down, have those difficult conversations. Okay, the misunderstandings, you know, the frustrations.
Right.
We're not on the same. I don't feel like we're on the same page about X, Y, Z, this, and this.
Yeah, y'all not talking about it.
Exactly. But then we had to deal with some of the hurt and the bitterness that before we even get to the frustration or whichever one comes first. I don't know. Frustration, bitterness, whatever, all of it. But it was hard to even communicate about the real need because both of us felt unheard for so many years.
Right.
And that's why I'm just going to be, I'm a champion, I'm a proponent, advocate for third party counseling, therapy, because when you at that point where you not seeing it his way, he ain't seeing it your way, it's all right to get some help.
It is.
We got some help and we still get help. I am very proud because it used to kind of feel like, well, don't y'all got God? Don't y'all read? What's wrong? It's the whole what's wrong with you kind of undertone.
Yeah.
It's like, no, what's right with us?
Yes.
And what continues to be right with us because we had to learn how to communicate expectations in a way that would work for both of us.
And every champion we know has a coach.
Ooh, that's good.
LeBron James has a coach. Michael Jordan has a coach.
Yeah.
Tom Brady had a coach. Every champion we know and admire has a coach. Serena Williams had a coach.
Yeah.
So why shouldn't we have a coach if we're trying to be the greatest? And the coaches are different. We've changed coaches.
Yes.
We had 15, 16 years. We had one set of people that counseled us. And then the last 4 or 5 years, we've had 2 different people counsel it. It always remains that somebody looking from the outside can always see the things that neither one of you see.
Right.
Well, Jacques, why are you so combative when you talk? Why is it always so hard? Who, me? I'm hard? Oh, yeah. That sounds real hard.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought I was just trying to clearly make my point. You're making your point a little aggressive. Oh, okay. Now you need to tell everybody to sit down and let's get it together. But why does your voice go up every time it's, oh, okay, I didn't realize I did that.
Yep.
Well, that's what your wife been trying to tell you. You know, and as we heard one of our mentors say one time, if everybody keeps telling you the same thing, you may need to look at, is it really true?
Yes. Because you were telling me the same thing a lot. Like it was every time something was going on, we need to go. I was taking you to counseling a lot. And you would be like, babe, is it, you used to say, can you ever be wrong? And I'd be like, no. Right. And I'm going to bring this up again. If you didn't watch the episode before this, go watch it. But I'm going to help you. I had to learn to say these words. I'm sorry. I had to learn to say I was wrong. in communicating expectations, I had to learn to say, you know what? I didn't hear that right. You were right. You know what? You may have said that, because there would be times you would say, you remember when I told, I know I didn't. I would get so defensive. No, I didn't. And you'd be like, and the expectation was, I'm just trying to tell you something that I know I shared with you. And it happened a lot in business. We'll talk to the business people in a little bit, maybe another episode. But I had to say, this is another big one. Please forgive me, because I just didn't want to be wrong. I didn't want to be wrong in, y'all sorry, get my proper stuff together. I just didn't want to be wrong. And when you talk about communicating expectations, I felt like my expectations were right. And I just felt like you should know.
Know what?
You should, you should know. You married me.
That was 20 years ago. Right.
And we don't give people an opportunity to change and to grow.
Yeah.
And I think that's the scary part. Like, what are you going to grow into? What are you going to change into? Who are you going to change into?
Right.
Am I still going to have the same control in the relationship that I had before? And that's what it was for me. Like, I'm about being honest, because I don't care. I was controlling, and it was subtle controlling. When you started speaking up what your expectations were, what you weren't going to put up with no more, I was losing control, and that was scary. And a lot of times I wanted to run you to counseling for somebody else to control you. You was like, I ain't doing that no more. Like, I have a voice. I have something to say. And what I have to say needs to be heard, because we're not going to keep doing this like this.
Right.
Because that was our thing. Like, we're not going to keep doing this like this anymore. And I had to get to the point to say, you know what? I'm wrong. Like that. If you're going to communicate, you got to add those words in your vocabulary.
That's true.
You just have to. You're not always right. I'm talking about me. I'm not always right. He's not always right. But I see the reels, and it's funny, but it's really sad that some of the hottest reels when it comes to relationships, that men think that no woman can admit that she's wrong.
Exactly.
That no woman can take responsibility for her part in whatever is happening in the relationship. And I used to he, kiki, and TT and all of that till I realized I was the person that they were talking about. Because your expectations were, don't talk to me like that. Don't do this. Can you not do this? Or can you do that? And really be heard, and the compromise comes forth to say, you know what? I heard you. But then I'm over here wanting you to be all romantic, wanting you to be all come snuggle up against me and do all this other kind of stuff. And I used to be like, why are you not pursuing me like you used to? And he was like, I ain't really feeling it like I used to. And it was hard for me to hear you say that it wasn't an overnight. It was the erosion. It's the drip here. It's the hurt here. It's the tear here. It's the, you didn't say you sorry. You didn't take ownership. You do that for years upon years upon years upon years.
There you go.
Then you wonder why people are like, okay, I want to take a break from you.
Yeah, you drift.
Yeah.
Drifting.
The irreconcilable differences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you drifting away. Like you go to the beach and get in the pool, and the ball is right here, and you look up and it's a couple of feet away.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it's like, man, how'd the ball get way down there in the 8 feet, and I'm still here in the 3 feet because it drifted.
Yep.
And then when people say, oh, man, we're getting a divorce, everybody's shocked because, like, what happened? What happened? You really don't even realize what happened because it was subtle.
Yeah.
It was so subtle. It was a 1,000 small cuts.
Yeah.
And eventually the person was just like, every time I come in contact with you, it hurts.
Yeah.
Because of all of these cuts.
Yep.
And, well, God is your healer, but you done cut me 1,000 times. Even if he's my healer, it doesn't happen overnight. He doesn't heal me overnight. Maybe I can't Even when you go to surgery, if you have a serious surgery, just because they did surgery, you don't heal the next day.
Yep.
They give you a plan of recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're going to keep Mr. Johnson in the hospital for the next 7 days to monitor him.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to keep giving him antibiotics to monitor his body and his results, his blood pressure. Then we're going to release him, and we're going to need to see him every 2 weeks. It's still a healing process.
Yep.
Even though the internal work is done, it's going to take time for it to work into the body, into the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And so taking the responsibility, and I think I told you one time, I said, it's hard to sleep with your boss.
Yep.
Your angry boss. It's hard to sleep with the prison warden.
Yep.
It's like, I'm an inmate and you the warden. It's like, it's kind of hard to sleep with your warden.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you're going to whip me back out in the field tomorrow, and then you come in here tonight, well, why don't you snuggle with me? It's like, no, I'm good.
Yep.
I'm just going here and watch
And
Netflix.
I want people to know that's what we were.
Yeah.
And, and get over the shock factor that people have problems.
People have problems. You have problems.
You have problems.
Yes.
But it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if we've made an idolatry of people. Like, if you have a good marriage, is it taboo to have I don't know. But I'm like, I had to get over it real quick.
That we've idolized the good marriage. Hashtag relationship goals. Hashtag marriage goals. And it's like, if in a year, we have 12, 15, 20 really bad days.
Yeah.
It's not every day, all day. But we're saying is the things that have hurt have had long-lasting effects.
Yes.
You say the wrong thing to your spouse, you cut them really deeply, they might never get over it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You call somebody fat and something and this, that, and the other, and you wasn't like this, and God forbid you say something about somebody who didn't have children, or your sexual performance wasn't all that, bro. Back when I was in high school, you damaged somebody. Mm-hmm. And it may take years to recover from that, or may never recover.
Right.
And then nobody's going to tell you that, though.
Right.
They're like, oh, why'd y'all divorce? Oh, we just didn't make it. We just couldn't. They're not going to go into all the details. Yeah. And then it makes it look like marriage doesn't work.
Right.
And nobody's telling you all the nasty stuff that was said behind the scenes.
Who wants to out themselves?
Thank you.
Nobody talks about their part.
No. Tell your part.
Yes, it's like, I want to follow you around for a month.
Yes.
With the recorder on all the time. And see who you really are. And that's the part where I always say, I'm going to get talking about myself. Those thoughts that you have, that you just let fly out your mouth. Because you don't think it's going to do nothing. Mm-hmm. And you look up and it's like, man, they're not as affectionate as they used to be. Or the way, we used to, I used to carry, the money. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, can I have better boundaries with the money? Whatever the person needs. But if you do that 12, 13 years and then add on other people on top of that, mm-hmm. it's going to have an effect on your relationship. Mm-hmm. And we don't tell people time heals all wounds.
It does not.
It does not.
No.
God heals you, but I don't know what that looks like for every person. Mm-hmm. But what we are saying is, if you are willing, and we want y'all to be willing like we were willing. It wasn't a feeling. It was a willingness. Right.
And it works best when you start with you.
Yes.
Stop telling people they need counseling. You need help. We all need help. We all need some counseling, some therapy, some feedback from a third party. So start with you. Start with, if my marriage is not good, I'm going to start with, where can I be better?
Yeah.
Have I watched a marriage podcast? Have I read a book? Have I done something that benefits me? And then we'll see how it reflects back to my spouse.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start with me. Years ago, when I went on my weight loss journey, I didn't ask you to join me. Mm-hmm. I lost 50 pounds, me and my trainer. I didn't tell you to eat this food. I didn't tell you need to jump on this train and get with me. It was let me do it because I need to lose the weight.
Yeah, but when I saw you had lost that 30, I was like, I ain't about to be no fat wife now. I was like, you ain't gonna be checking out my husband and I'm over here at like how he get her.
I'm over here with Norbit. I'm over here, bro. Come on, baby. I'm like, whoa.
It did have influence on me.
Whoa.
I was like, hold on now, girl.
But that's what I'm saying. It had influence on you.
It did.
But I never asked you to join me.
No, you did not.
Yes, and that's what we're saying with the marriage. Start with you. Start with reading books about manhood. Start with going to the men conferences, podcasts, stuff that's gonna train you. And when your spouse sees it, they'll go, okay, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
What you mean? Well, normally when I bring up money, you go off. Why didn't you go off?
Yep.
Normally when I say something about the kids, your response is this: you just went and picked them up this time.
Mm-hmm.
Normally when I say something about you playing golf on Saturday, you didn't go play golf. What's going on?
Yeah.
Now's the time for you to share.
Yep.
Because you're working it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then when it's starting to work with you, you can share with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, last year I went and watched this guy's podcast. We was having some bad arguments. And I said, Lord, I need help.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to that man for like 4 hours straight. And one of the first things he said was, go home and take responsibility for what you did. Go home and take responsibility and say you sorry and you was wrong, even if you weren't. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute. Now you're getting a little radical here. And he said, you go home and tell your spouse, I'm sorry for putting you in a position to even have to fuss with me about that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, my God. And I remember I came home and I was like, hey, babe, I want to talk to you. And then you was already like, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry for putting you in a position to even have to go off about that. So to do what? Wait a minute. What'd you just say? I said, I'm sorry for putting you in a position to even have to go off about that. Oh, okay, because you was lost. You was looking like, wait a minute.
Ready.
What just happened?
I was ready.
And the whole thing turned around.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, it did something to me to say, you know what? Let me take responsibility.
Yeah.
Let me start with the compromise.
Mm-hmm.
Because last year we really did get down to the third C, commitment. We just here.
Yep.
It's rough, but we here.
Mm-hmm.
We on the side of 285, but we still here.
Yeah.
I see a lot of cars passing us by, but we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what y'all gonna do? We're here. Do y'all have answers to this right now? Nope. But we're here. Man, y'all crying a lot. Well, we're still here though.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually you get answers, you get help. The hero truck comes along and gets you back on the road.
Yep.
Yes. So, yes, hard things have to be said, and healing does need to take place for you to move forward in a new and a living way.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, that ends another episode. And we want to thank our sponsors again, Dream Home Inspections, meeting all of your real estate needs. Their information is on the screen. So if you need any type of inspection, residential or commercial, Dream Home Inspections can help you. And we look forward to seeing you all next week.